Hi, I'm Dom.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I don't know why he has me doing this. This is how I sound. I am not as energetic as these two fucktards. Sorry.
Oh, the family.
So, anybody else want to start out?
Welcome to BackYard Bullshit.
There we go.
My name is DJ Trak Runner. This is Kyle the Brand, and this is Dominique. Today,
This is your brain on drugs.
this is you. This is you. This is your brain on drugs.
Oh, child.
Oh,
Ooh,
hell
can
of
we
an
just get a
intro.
moment of time for that?
Hell-
Dom, that was fantastic. Hi,
hi.
I'm Dom. This is what my voice sounds like. Okay. Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Anyways, we are on to the fantastic topic, or I guess genre at this point, that is the discussion of
We got this. We got this.
they got this.
R&B.
Yes.
The infamous no.
The versus battle. Old versus new school R&B. So of course, how many of y'all feel like what's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Because I feel like old school R&B is gonna win, but I don't. I'm an early millennial, so y'all may differ from me. So we would love to hear your feedback, of course, definitely DM us or email us. But R&B, here we go.
Go crazy.
How are we starting? Are we going back to the 90s?
I
Are we
guess
going back
where
to
I
the
guess
80s,
where it started.
or-
Yeah, I guess where it started.
All right. Well, let's see.
This is history lesson from you now.
Old school R&B. You know what? I feel like for all of these episodes, I'm usually one that leads, but I know that for R&B holds a really sweet spot for Dom, so I'm just gonna pass the torch over to her. Lead us in. Let's talk about old
Get
school
your
R&B.
iPad, get your
I don't
notes.
know why he did such a thing. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, no.
Hide your kids, hide
I
your
would say,
wife.
like me, I grew up on R&B first. That's the first thing I heard. And for me, I love, like, the harmonies of it, how it made me feel. Like, they
80s.
actually sung very well. very,
Are we talking
very well.
80s? Are we talking 90s? Like, what are we talking?
Like,
Period.
for 80s, 90s, they all sung really well.
I
and
agree.
They were all about those harmonies and the lyrics, and it's like different types. Like, you can go to the groove or love making, heartbreaking love, or just getting your freak on. whichever
Ooh.
you
Get your
prefer.
freak on.
I'm just saying. Like,
Well, a lot of us was conceived on R&B music.
oh God.
Even DJ Trak Runner. I'm pretty sure he wasn't conceived on house music. He was conceived on R&B. That Marvin Gaye.
Marvin
That Marvin
right.
Gaye.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Old
I
Barry
agree with
White.
you. I think R&B, the old school version, R&B was very much emotional. It was delicate. It was sensitive. Back in the days, they found clever ways of talking about frivolous activities. They found clever ways of talking about infidelity. They sang. Oh, they sang. They sang. Equivalent to disco. But we're not going to talk about that. It was about the vocal. It was about the emotion that was given to you. It was about the production, the start of the production, the end of production. It was the feeling that you felt with R&B. It was very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And as you know, I was conceived on R&B. You were conceived on R&B. You was conceived on R&B. It was unapologetic.
Yeah.
And I think it did a lot for our community, especially for the black community. It
Right.
did a lot for us, Boys Unison. And, I can talk about the 80s, but I didn't live the 80s as much as I lived in the 90s. So I think it would be a really appropriate time to just start on the 90s R&B.
Right.
Even though I love the 80s,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, because,
Just
Patti LaBelle, last night. But let's talk about the 90s R&B. Like, it created an era. It created New Jack Swing.
yeah.
It created slow jams with a Z, not an S.
Z.
You gotta say with a Z, not an S. Slow jams.
Zzz. Zzz.
The girl groups, the boy groups, the dancing, the fashion, everything about R&B shaped the culture. So I'm so proud that I was able to experience that. I was so proud that I was able to talk about that. It helped shape me and help me become a musician. And I think that people kind of sleep on the foundation of rhythm and blues, which is R&B. That's what R&B stands for. And I think now, we ain't gonna talk about now. We're gonna talk about then, because if we talk about now, my whole reaction is gonna change. So, let's talk about your favorite R&B artist. 4, not 5. She's not gonna get away with 5, guys. So you go ahead and start, Dom.
I don't think I should start.
I'm gonna start because I know I have like the fewest because,
You're
it's
listening
funny,
to Ashley Simpson.
God. Oh man. No, just because like it's funny, like as a DJ, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you must know like all this music, all the songs," and it's like, yes and no. It's like I specialize in certain genres more than others, and I never got too deep into R&B. Like I listened to it growing up and like a little bit, but like I was raised on like rock and roll and like disco and like just more stuff like that, but not a whole lot of R&B artists in there. That being said, my favorites and one of my favorite R&B projects is I Want You by Marvin Gaye. Just a little flashback to the 80s. I helped a buddy of mine sample that recently. That whole album, front to back, you are meant to do nothing else but to make love listening to that album.
We did say 90s, but
I know. I just wanted to say. I know.
Gaye.
I just wanted to give a little flashback. So, Marvin Gaye, and then
that's one. You got 3 more.
2 more.
Oh, he's doing 3. Okay.
I was gonna say, Sade, love her, and of course, Miss Lauryn Hill.
So,
of course, obviously the biggest, some of the bigger ones, but that's me.
So Sade,
love her.
Okay.
If you were
Sade, right? You realize her name is not Sade.
It is.
Sade is the band.
I didn't. Okay, I know that I've been jerked around. I have been jerked around on this so much. First when I first discovered her, I was like, oh, I love Sade. Everyone's like,
Sade.
Everyone's like, yeah, Sade, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I love them, but I thought that was like her, and I always went, no, it was
Sade
her.
is the band.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Helen, but Sade's the band.
That's what I thought because I was always told
Yeah.
like both. So, but
Sade is
either
the
way,
band.
the band, the Helen herself, whoever, she's amazing. Her voice takes me places.
Okay, I want to say, Google it, Tom. Google it. Google it. Google it.
Put the iPad.
And I'm
Right.
like,
Click, 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 click.
Okay, so Sade, Marvin Gaye. Who else?
Oh, who did I say?
You said Marvin Gaye.
I said Sade.
Sade.
And I said one other person. I swear.
Well, if you said it, then you should be able to remember it.
I
and say it
literally
right
am
now.
drawing a blank on it right now. I mean, I like
He's pulling
No,
his
was
white
it-
card. I love it though. We
Fuck
love him
you.
still.
I mean, I can give you the obvious Brandy and Monica and blah 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 blah. but
Name
that's
one
not-
Brandy and Monica song,
Great,
child.
great question.
oh,
No, just none come to mind. It's like I just don't know. Like I just don't pay attention to song titles like that. I just really don't. I know
You're
I
supposed
should,
to be
but I
giving us a
don't.
number 3 artist. You need to focus on that.
Usher.
Usher, baby.
Ursha, baby.
Okay.
No, I actually know. I listen to Usher's like a lot of like his 2000s R&B. Like
I'm
that's
about to
when
challenge him. So, what
go
is your
crazy.
favorite song by Usher? What's your favorite song by Sade? What's your favorite song by Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye, I Want You, Sade, Cherish the Day, and Climax by Usher.
Climax.
Dude, you can talk whatever shit you want. That song, when I saw that in the video and the notes he hits, she talks about R&B kind of taking you places emotionally and all that. That song for me, like I was just kind of at like my angsty like middle school ages, and I was just like that song just hit it for me. I was
Will
like,
that classify as old school or new school R&B, Dom? That's new school.
say new
ain't it?
school, yeah.
We said old school.
That's
So
all
you
I
want
got,
to-
man.
Aw.
That's all I'm here for. You said favorite artists.
Dom, take over, please. He's killing us.
so we talking about like just the artists of the 90s.
4. Yes. Artist and favorite song.
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-huh.
So TLC.
Yes! Creep?
Creep. That was
So
my
what?
ish. I don't do the dance.
Okay,
Oh,
that's-
God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Who else? I'm sorry. I'm
No,
supposed to be
TLC
sitting
was
down.
legit.
But Aaliyah.
Oh, you better rock the boat. Wait.
I
Aaliyah.
forget about all these.
Child, shh.
I know
You tried
Aaliyah.
it. You
No,
said
I know
Sade.
Aaliyah. I
And
know.
you thought Sade was the artist. It's okay.
Still a valid
It
response.
is a really bad response. You're right. Aaliyah, what's your favorite song?
Ooh, I would say 1 in a million.
Ooh. Okay. 2 more.
Whew, Boys to Men
Ooh.
for the 90s. Yes.
My wedding songs, honey.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
gonna put you.
I hate you.
How could I?
Really?
Really?
For them, my favorite song by them. I say Motown Philly.
Oh, come on, New Jack Swing. That was the
Yes.
birth of New Jack Swing.
Yes.
Okay, and then number 4.
Whew.
Ooh, I know, right? It's rough.
Since he picked one of my favorites, let me go. Skip it.
Sade?
No. Mine was Lauryn Hill.
Oh.
But
He did say Lauryn Hill,
did
didn't
say
he?
Lauryn Hill.
That's what.
He don't even know. He lied. He was lying, guys. That was his favorite. He would pick it off the bat. She only had one album.
I know, and I just totally blanked.
You just totally blew it. Yes. Go ahead.
Difference.
Whew. Trying to decide.
I know, isn't it rough?
It's so many because I listen to so. Oh,
Pick
I
one.
can't decide between Janet or anyone.
You already know that's Mother, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah.
You already know.
Oh man. I'm gonna give it to Janet.
Come on.
I'm gonna give it to Janet.
It's Mother. Hi, Mother.
My favorite one by her was "Love Goes." That's the way love goes.
All right, I'm gonna let you have that one.
Okay.
But I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna challenge your Janet and say Janet for me. But my favorite Janet song, R&B song, was "Let's Wait a While." Cause only she could sing about holding your shit before you lose your virginity and making it sound sexy. So she was amazing. One. I'm gonna say Boys to Men. Challenge your Boys to Men. I'm gonna say I'll Make Love to You. Because the way that child took that bath in the tub and the way Dwayne Martin ran to her in that video, whoo, child. We love it. Don't we all? We love it. Okay. I'm gonna say Mariah Carey. Because Mariah Carey can tumble, she can flip, she can sing your whole entire clothes off. And my favorite song, R&B song by Mariah Carey, is Can't Let Go. Baby, the way she sang that, I was single and I cried for her. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I wish I had her. I love her. Ooh, child, especially the ending. Ooh, she, got this child. And my 4th one, classic
Please say my person.
R&B. Hold on. I don't know if you may like this one. I'm going to save that one for another episode.
Okay.
My 4th one are classic R&B. Classic R&B? Shit. Not new age R&B, classic R&B? Y'all already know. I'm a Brandy fan. So, I mean...
And so it begins.
And so it be. I was rocking with Brandy from her first album to her last album that came out about a month and a half ago. My favorite Brandy song back then was Broken Hearted. The original one on the track. Not the one with Wanye. I love Wanye, but he was... It was too much. So, Broken Hearted. Brandy. Those are my 4. Who you thought I was going to say?
Well, I would say that.
I should have said 5.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're going to do honorable
With
mentions.
this
Go ahead.
person, she did have some R&B songs.
Who?
Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Whitney.
The
Yes.
queen of covers. I love her,
And
but she was the queen of covers.
Yeah.
If I should stay.
And this one song, people gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but I bought the video. I love this song to death. It was Heartbreak Hotel.
Wouldn't she be 80? Oh no, she's 90s.
That was 90s.
Okay, well if you, I'll take your Whitney and I'll size you up with Faith Evans.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was in the song.
I mean, she was in the
Yeah.
song, right? But my favorite Faith Evans song was "Never Gonna Let You Go." I remember back then we didn't have streaming, we didn't have CDs, we didn't have the stuff that we have now, right? So the only thing that we can do is I would go to the Wiz, tell them my age, and I would get the cassette tapes. Not the cassette tapes with the square holes in the middle, but the cassette tapes that was like in the middle, like it was like covered, so you can record off the radio. And I would literally listen to the radio forever to record the song, and Never Gonna Let You Go. It took me 5 hours to find that song, to record it. And it's funny because I was listening to the radio so much, I'll never forget this. I was listening to the radio so much I took a break from the radio to go to the bodega to go get me a beef patty with cheese or something like that because I was really fat back then. And when I came back, literally I came back to the door, I put the radio on, and it just started. And I pressed record and play. That going and recording that, it meant so much to me, and that's why that song is so dear to my heart.
That's so much effort though,
And
having a little cassette thing and everything. I remember like the
Child was
closest
Hot 97.
the closest thing I can relate to that, like when I was young, was like I'd freak out like giving my computer a virus using LimeWire.
Oh.
Illegally downloading music. Like you had to worry about like finding the song at the radio station. I had to worry about my mom logging onto the computer and going like, why is it so slow all of a sudden?
Wait, no, that wasn't the 90s because
That's not for
LimeWire,
him.
Napster.
No, for me.
Oh, for you.
For me, that's the only way I can
forget.
relate to it.
I forget. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
yeah.
we
Forget the
cassette
age.
tapes.
Yeah, no, I recorded it off of Hot 97. You know, played and go. It was so much fun. But
Damn.
again, the songs that mean most to you, and with those songs also, like, you know, people listen to music to kind of feel not alone in what they're going through, whether it's a breakup, a marriage, starting a relationship, being alone, or just normal everyday activities. And what R&B did for me was make me feel like I wasn't alone. So these songs, I'll Make Love to You, Never Gonna Let You Go, Broken Hearted, they gave me hope that I'll find a relationship. They gave me hope that I'll find love. They gave me hope that I'll find a future. And when you're connected spiritually to that, like there's just no other way to go. And I feel like that's why old school R&B holds such dear to my heart. I don't know about you, but for me as a gay black man growing up, like that really kind of shaped my hopeless romanticism, I guess you can call it, right? Hopeless romanticism.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I was able to experience that and share that. And, you know, also back in the 90s, you know, this is when tapes, CDs was kind of the up and go. So you would go to Virgin Record Store, you would go to The Wiz, you would go to Tower Records, and the whole experience of buying a body of work was so much fun. It was so great. Like, it just, man, it was so much great. It was just amazing. The 90s was a good era.
So much great.
It was so much greatness.
So much
greatness. Like, I don't know.
I know for me, before the CD era happened, when we were still on
Tapes.
tapes,
So glad I
we
didn't have
had
to
the
live
most
through
cassette tapes that we had. Whatever. Okay.
Hey,
That's
I had my
fine.
experience with the VHS tapes growing up, and
child,
rewinding those shits was so annoying.
Whatever. Okay. So,
Anyway.
I know that the first cassette tapes that my mom had that I would just listen to was like Jodeci and
Forever,
Boyz II Men.
Sinead. Sorry. It's like a dream. Shut up, Martin. I'm sorry. I'm holding you close. I'm keeping you warm. Shout out to Martin with Sinead. Okay, sorry.
So, I know for me when I would record like tapes, for me it'd be the VCR.
Okay.
So anytime I wanted to catch my favorite music video, I would hit the record on the VCR to catch it so I can like watch
Do
it.
you totally remember when like certain artists, Michael, hi Michael, would have like debuts on network TV?
And I would be recording them.
Baby. So again, back in the 90s, remember the time. I remember when they had a premiere from Remember the Time. And when it happened, me and my mom sat in front of the TV and just like, it was like watching magic happen. Like it was so great. Like, again, that culture, like it brought us together and it unified us. And I don't think that we'd have that anymore. Like it's not, you know, social media happened, the internet happened, YouTube happened, and we don't get that kind of connection anymore like we used to because
music and music videos would tell stories.
Yeah.
And so it would feel like a mini movie or something. And that's why I'm just like, oh man, what happened? And then like cameos and guest appearances on there. You're like, what?
Child, man.
'Cause all the people that was in there Remember the Time video, it was just like
Magic Johnson, Lisa Leslie, the model, Iman, like
Eddie.
Eddie Murphy, but the model, Iman was in it. She was Iman. You couldn't touch her. So yeah, like that. It just, man, so great.
Creativity in the music video.
their creativity in the music videos, the vibe. It was just so great. It was just so great, man. What happened? Let's talk about new school R&B.
Oh,
What
you
happened?
want to get into it now? Oh, okay. So,
Please tell me
Well,
what
so,
happened.
as the years roll on and time progresses, and people care more about technology than vocals,
Not me.
Who,
me?
I think the spirit of R&B has kind of shifted, and what was fun and creative and emotional becomes a little bit more superficial, becomes a little bit more blatant, it becomes a little bit more kind of disrespectful, and it becomes a little bit more like in your face. So remember before when we sang about in old school R&B, when we sang about being a cheater, we found clever ways of singing about it. And even in the 80s, like with songs like Me and Mrs. Jones, like it was a very clever way. I felt like nowadays we're not so clever anymore. We just sing about it. You know, before we used to idolize and modify about being in love, you know, about being vulnerable, about being romantic. And now we sing about having sex. We sing about jewels. We sing about money. We sing about these things, and
materialism.
Materialism at its finest. And some of us don't sing at all. Some of us rely on auto-tune, Melodyne, and it took the soul of R&B, I feel, and you know we can't connect with it anymore. And hate me, I'll stand by 115%. But that's why the world is not what it was back in the 90s. Because music ultimately shapes the culture. Am I wrong? It shapes what's happening. It shapes what's going on. Music is the one thing that brings us all together or can keep us all apart. And when we stop singing about being in love and start singing about one-night stands, when we stop singing about, you know, getting married, Jagged Edge, hey Jagged Edge, and then we start singing about, you know, just hey, can you meet me here and let's fuck.
Hey boy.
It changes it. So now we're in the instant gratification mode, and I feel like R&B has taken a turn.
R&B is single-handedly responsible for kids under 18 having sex.
I mean, where's the lie? Like I just feel like it hasn't. It morphed, and I don't think it morphed in a great tone. I mean, there's still great artists that sing R&B now. I mean, they're okay, but it's not the same. It doesn't bring the culture together. Like it doesn't make me feel good to be alive. It doesn't make me feel good to fall in love. It doesn't make me feel good to wanna to find somebody to date them. It honestly just makes me want to go have sex. And it's like, well, this is not what we grew up on. This is not the great. But, you know, is it just us or is it the reality of things? Because I can say my dad and my mom said that's the stuff about the 90s music. It wasn't as creative as it was back in the 70s and 80s. So, like, maybe it's just our age, like, going, or maybe you know, what do you think?
I mean, when you talk about like materialism and stuff, I feel like that can almost be said for most other genres too. Like you look at like rap nowadays, or even like even 80s. I mean rap as a genre as a whole has always been about, you know, the flash, the pageantry, like everything like that. But I feel like
did he just say rapping's been always about being rapping?
No, I said rap has always been about.
We're gonna talk about that genre in another episode. Keep it to R&B.
I know R&B. Okay, but that's what I'm saying is like you have like. That's always been around, but now you have it integrated, and that's contributed to this culture of like materialism. And now that I think you have, you know, R&B doing the same thing, I think it's like, oh well, now they're getting hit at it from different angles, not just this mainstream angle where it's like, okay, I'm obviously expecting to find this here, but now they go into listen to something that isn't as mainstream, and they're still getting those same messages. They're still getting the materialism. They're still getting the hey, we're gonna do this one night stand thing, or we're gonna play some games, but we're not gonna call it, you know, anything real. And I think that's kind of contributed to the demise of, you know, a culture. Like you say, you know, music shapes the culture, and I think something like that, you know, I think it's a shift in topics, and I think it's weird because it's like you have pressure on the artists to not necessarily keep it clean, but, you know, keep the meanings hidden, you know, use your extensive vocabulary as an artist and make it so you're not so blatant. But then again, is that to say, you know, is there then this shift where it's like, oh, people want that blatant, you know,
Here's my
that blatant message. Okay.
on
Uh-oh.
what happened to R&B.
Oh.
Here's my 2 cents.
Take rant. Same thing.
5 cents? Okay, go.
5 cents, 10
Five.
For
cents.
one, it lost its own identity.
Amen.
It really did.
She ain't never
And
lie.
it became too commercialized.
Define that, honey.
So, back in the Gap, there was like a variety of artists that did R&B.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you wanted to go on a love out, you go to this artist. If you wanted to go to a party route, you go to this artist. If you wanted to go to the Get You Freak On, you go this route. There was so many different variety types of R&B artists.
You go to Missy.
Good. I literally just had that. I literally just had that in my head. Sorry.
Like, when I was looking at the R&B hip-hop charts.
As she would always do. That's
Of
Miss
course.
Billboard. Okay.
I didn't want to go all the way back, so I went to like 1990. Majority of the people on the
Didn't wanna
charts
go
were
all the way
R&B
back.
artists.
Okay.
And then gradually by, I want to say a little bit after 2005, 2008-ish, a little bit more hip-hop started singing in the charts.
Mm-hmm.
2010, a little bit more like hip-hop. By 2015, it was mostly hip-hop.
Oh yeah.
R&B slash hip-hop.
2012 is
Yeah.
still one of the best years for
Yeah.
hip hop. Another discussion.
Yes. Focus.
And I kind of feel like by then it was a lot of fusion happening where
Okay.
it would be like a pop artist with an R&B feel, hip hop artist, and like it was no complete R&B. It was like bits and pieces,
Okay.
taking it from it. And so,
Why do you think that is?
should I was like, should I blame this artist?
Oh, now we're blaming people. Ooh.
No,
Watch
it's
out.
just that it kind of combined with like trap a little bit.
Trap.
Let me finish. Like trap / mumble rap.
Mm.
So it's kind of like they have melodies and it's like R&B feels with it, and it's like
Did you just call it mumble rap? Like,
Mumble rap.
little
It's
bit.
mumble rap's
Yeah.
a thing.
It's a thing.
Talk to Future. It's a thing.
stop
Yeah.
it.
It's
R&B.
a thing. But
Okay.
well,
Well, okay. Go
and
ahead,
then
continue.
also like the R&B groups kind of died out a little bit.
Yes, they did. Oh,
And-
child, speak it.
And then when some groups started to come back a little bit, like one of the main things with R&B groups is like how they sung together. There might be some cases where egos need to be checked a little bit, but everybody knew what they were in the group for.
Okay.
And so I feel like when they did try to bring R&B back a little bit, they didn't know how to utilize their group with where the music was going. And I kind of feel like with when R&B
Who is
died,
they?
just in general, people who were trying to
Okay.
come
Like a
back
major-
in with
okay.
R&B.
Okay.
It's like it's kind of feel like with some artists, like the music changes over the years. There was only a select few artists who kept with the change, and some of them that just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like it was just kind of became harder to market like an R&B
That
group?
too, because
Like,
that's
it's
what I
already-
kind of feel like.
Yeah.
It became less about the talent of the people and more about, okay, how do I market this person?
Like the brand and all that. And
because
I see that because
the
you're the best.
marketing became more important first, and then
Yeah, because you already have a
everything
genre
else.
that's like struggling, so it's easy, it's hard enough to work one person rather than to work a full.
I have the
but
unpopular opinion.
but not
Oh,
just
okay.
the groups, but I'm talking about like if a guy who could sing come in and say, okay, he could sing, but like where's your market? How can I market?
Yeah, the brand it became more
The
brand focused.
brand
Yeah,
was first. Yeah.
I feel like
Mhm.
R&B, old school to new school, I feel like the R&B genre became oversaturated. And as talented as the old school R&B artist was, they always started to sound one and the same. You had a few people that would sound different from the rest, right? And I feel like there wasn't an era to market them, or it wasn't a chance to market them. So labels decided to give them an edge, and that's when hip hop kind of came about. But I also feel like okay, I'd rather say it like this. So, because I'm using my words wisely. Okay, so in R&B, old school was majority African American or black people, right? That was our era. That was our reign. And there was so many people that was in it, right? But you will always get the random few who wasn't part of the culture that will sing their ass off, and they're singing legitimately R&B. So Tina Marie was one of those people that kind of that's old school, like 80s, but still she came through and she kind of won. Bobby. Who? Bobby
Caldwell.
Oh, Bobby Caldwell, right? Exactly. John B. Kind of went through and he became that fish or that big fish in a small pond, right? And then you have people now. Justin Bieber is the big fish in the small pond, right? He can actually sing. He is classified as R&B. Justin Timberlake is classified as R&B.
I get Justin Timberlake all the way.
Justin Bieber.
His latest album.
Yes, it's very R&B. Very R&B. So I feel like
Justin.
The major labels probably even Ariana Grande is considered R&B.
I even get that more than Justin.
So that's
Bieber.
why I said fusion.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like what maybe, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think major labels kind of went for the big fish in a small pond as opposed to participating in the oversaturated genre. And with your comment about the hip hop, again, you sing like Beyonce. We already have a Beyonce. You sing like Mariah Carey. We already have Mariah Carey. We need to give you some edge. We need to give you some kind of thing or deal. So I feel like that is kind of what shifted R&B and made it a subgenre, because that's right now R&B feels like a subgenre. It doesn't feel like a genre anymore. It doesn't feel like this is dominating. Like, it doesn't feel like pop music is pop music. Like, and we spoke about this last time. EDM is EDM, right? Disco is disco, but R&B is kind of like it's a floating among the trenches. And at the end of the day, it's all about, for some labels, not all, it's all about profit and what sells at the time. And if being emotional or being vulnerable is not what's selling at the time, they're not going to push it or market it, no matter how much you try to go and go. If it's talking about sex and talking about, being promiscuous is what's selling at the moment, they're going to put their top dollar at what's selling at the moment, because at the end of the day, it's all about making that money and kind of filling that role or paying back what was given to you by the label. It's all about becoming from red to black, which in music business terms, when the label gives you money and when you sign a deal, you have to pay them back the advance that they give you, and that's what being in the red is. And then
that's how
record sales and stuff like that, it'll help you get to the black, and the black means now you can start making money or profit off of the music that you sell, because you paid the label back in full what they advanced you. I told you I got y'all.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
So I think that's what happened to R&B. I think that's what kind of changed the vibe, the wave and the vibe. And it did change into R&B, hip-hop. And then ultimately, it became emo trap. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
emo trap.
Oh,
don't even get me started.
The emo trap. And it's just like, but as much people may have an opinion about emo trap, but I feel more emotionally connected to emo trap than I do like modern hip hop. Like, not modern hip hop, modern R&B. Like, there's
that's interesting.
Today's R&B. Yeah, like I felt lucid dreams quicker than I would feel lucid dreams. I love that song, but I feel that song from an emotional standpoint more than I would feel a song by today's song by Tory Lanez, or I feel from LMA, or I would feel from today's version of Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Old school Chris Brown, absolutely I emoted, but today's version, I don't feel a
before the beating.
Before the beating.
Before the beating.
So I guess, like, with that being said, with regards to today's R&B, who is your favorite artist? Pick 4.
I can't even pick. I don't even listen to R&B like this. Like, I'm still gonna go with Usher.
Okay. He's gonna die hard with Usher.
Oh,
even though he said Lauryn Hill originally. Let's talk about that. But Usher, okay.
Lauryn Hill, yeah. What's wrong with Lauryn Hill?
No, nothing wrong with Lauryn Hill.
But she's newer. She's newer.
She was your original on the 3, so Usher would be classed technically a new.
I said Usher originally.
Yeah, you said Lauryn Hill, and then you forgot to say Lauryn Hill, so you talked about Usher.
Newer.
Okay.
Usher.
Okay.
One. I'd say pre Chris Brown, before all the stuff went down.
Nope, I said newer version, newer age. So 2005 on.
Oh, I looking at.
Damn, 2005?
Yeah, 2005.
Not 2010?
No.
2005?
Oh, 2005. I'll give it leeway. 2010
okay.
technically, but 2005. Let's give him a little leeway.
Jesus, that's a
I
lot
don't
of
even
leeway.
know. I don't listen to R&B like that.
That's
Like
a lot of leeway. Hold on.
I feel like,
Look
but
who's
I feel like,
talking.
but I feel like the problem with me is it's like you guys were listing off some artists and it's like, oh, I didn't necessarily know they were classified as like R&B because the way I was, but like, because the way I remember the way in school, like I was taught and stuff. It's like, oh, there's R&B and then there's like soul and neo soul, and they were like really breaking it down, kind of all weird. So like that's when she said like Boys to Men.
Okay.
Like that threw me for a little loop for a second because I was like, oh, isn't that like? Well, I was like, isn't that more like soul? Like that's what I'm saying. I don't. Yeah, take your sips, drink your drinks, do your slurps, do whatever you got to do. That's what I'm saying. I don't like. This is all you guys at this point. Like I have pre-2005 Chris Brown on my side. I have Usher baby. That's fucking.
I'm sorry.
You'll
Did
probably
he just really say that Boys and Men? He didn't know Boys and Men was R&B. Let's let that sink in.
No,
for
it's
20
not that I didn't
seconds.
know they were R&B. I thought they were classified as like soul or like neo soul or something. Not like, and I feel like there's R&B
I'm about
and
to go that way.
I know you got. I almost did it last episode. You guys can almost do it this episode. Like, why do you think I've just been sitting here going, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Boys to Men. Okay.
We know the Boys to Men thing. Like that was an exaggerated example.
So Usher.
That's all you're gonna get from me. Dom, favorite artist. Favorite artist. I'm done. I'm off the chopping
Checking out.
block.
Okay, go ahead.
How many you say?
4.
Damn. Because you said 2005, so
2005
it's like,
on.
I have some there and I have some here.
All right, well, you start 2010. We can start 2010.
God damn it, dude.
I'm sorry.
This dude.
We had to give him a little leeway because
Okay.
clearly he thinks Boys to Men is soul. We need to give him clear way. Clearly. We need to talk about this off camera. He didn't really be saying that on camera. You got 2 people here. I got you,
okay.
boo.
You
Go
are
ahead.
the authorities. I'm not.
Yes. Who?
So
Go.
for me, Janae Aiko.
Okay. Who?
Really?
I love her.
Okay, Jeanette. See,
She's
I'm
not
just-
R&B, but go ahead.
thank you. Okay.
What would you consider her to be?
Trap.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Have you listened to all her albums?
Yes.
You would consider that just trap?
I'm not a fan of Janae Aiko. I love her. She's pretty. I love her. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I love you, boo. But I don't think she's R&B. I would say,
And that was my argument.
R&B pop. I don't think she's R&B
And
with
was
a little
that not-
trap in
was
between.
that not my
Okay.
argument? Yeah.
Go ahead. Who else? We'll talk about that later.
Daniel Caesar.
Okay.
Yeah, you said 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whew.
I honestly thought Daniel Caesar was more rap, but then again,
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
This is where the shade begins.
Ooh.
Wait, Daniel Caesar. I'm getting it mixed up
Once
with someone
again,
else. Never mind. I'm just gonna
New
keep.
age music is causing a rift in this table, as you can see clearly. This is why we're all a world apart. But go ahead, continue.
Whew. Some of his songs are R&B, but like I said, it's fusion now.
R&B.
There's so much mixed in. Bruno.
Bruno Mars? I think Bruno Mars is R&B. Okay. 3, last one. He's not soul.
I know, but I wouldn't even. I don't know if I classify him as like.
Get it out your mind right now.
I just
He's
don't
not
know what
soul.
to classify these people as. That's the problem. Is like because
These-
Bruno Mars has done so much.
These people.
I'm just playing.
My God, are we really doing
I'm just saying. Okay.
Last one.
I'll give this to him.
Dog.
Now, I'm hoping that you're going to say this person, but I'm going to say somebody else. The Weeknd.
Yes!
Okay,
Boom! Shabooyah! Yes.
this? Okay, I can. Yeah.
I'm going to match her.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
going to say The Weeknd, 1. I'm going to say Justin Bieber, 2.
Oh, my.
He is an R&B artist. I got to give it credit where credit's due.
Is it too late now to say sorry?
Oh!
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
I'm going to say he's still relevant, and he still makes music, and he's still out there. Trey Songz.
Wow. Wow. I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Trey Songz. He is. And I did say 2005, 2010.
Yeah.
You said
Trey Songz.
Fucking Trey Songz.
And then the fourth one, I am going to say, R&B. I am going to say, drum roll. I'm not going to mention Brandy again because that was my old school, even though she's still relevant to today. I am going to say Beyonce.
I was hoping you would say that.
Okay.
She is the R&B queen, even though some people consider her trap now.
Well, newer stuff, yeah, but no, like coming up, she definitely was like
Newer stuff. Newer stuff. What?
New-ish stuff. I'm done talking.
The what? What newer stuff that she considered trap? What?
Not like newer stuff, but like her most
Like what?
Formation comes to mind.
You consider that trap?
Yeah. Do you not?
So guys, this is why whenever
Do you
have,
not the beat?
whenever you have somebody that's a little lighter than you in your hangout spot, you have to always educate them, because he clearly just called Beyonce's Formation a trap song, and she's clearly singing in the song. That is R&B. She's not rapping in the song. But he clearly just classified Beyonce.
But the beat, when you listen to the beat, it
Noel
is a trap beat.
Carter as a trap artist.
It is a trap beat. The song in its entirety sounds more like a trap song than an R&B song. That's what I'm saying.
Am I being punked?
Am I being punked?
Am I being punked?
I feel like I'm the one being punked
Formation
tonight.
is not a trap song.
Okay, whatever.
Oh my Lord.
Okay.
Jesus
Whatever.
Christ.
Whatever.
If we really want to get into the linguistics of Formation, just for a side note, listen. Formation is actually, the beat was originated in New Orleans. It's classified as New Orleans bounce music. Do your research. It's classified as New Orleans bounce music, and it has an R&B twist to it, which is what Beyonce did to the track. That's what Formation is. If you want to come at me with a trap song, don't come at me with that. Not Formation.
Well, I don't know. Whatever.
Poor baby, it's okay.
I give up.
understand.
Were you thinking of Drunken Love?
Yes.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Drunken
Probably,
Love would be
yeah.
a little bit more trap than Formation. But it's okay. You like Ashley Simpson.
I don't.
So,
Where did you get Ashley Simpson from?
did you not remember when you said that? We have it on film.
Oh, I
Guys,
did.
go back to episode 2.
Oh, that was bad. I was joking though. I don't.
He wasn't joking.
Yes,
He said the pieces, the pieces of me. Okay, so because we can talk about R&B all day long. We can talk about what was then, what was now, what's good. Okay, where do you think the future of R&B is gonna go?
More
Ooh.
confusing fusion.
No
stuff.
positivity.
More confusing fusion stuff that causes conversations
Right.
like this.
Right.
That's the future of R&B.
Do you feel like it's gonna continue to kind of go down the path of being a subgenre, or do you feel like it's gonna get its grills back? Because we have artists like Beyonce who does R&B
Beyonce.
music. So like, how dare he come for Beyonce?
I didn't even come for it.
I need y'all to sting him, Beehive.
Please don't.
Trap music.
You're literally gonna end my life if you do that. I hope you.
You don't hear the bees.
Beehive tag.
So what do you think, right?
Whew. Well, I think that
Right.
if there were more kids that was
Well.
getting raised up to have more musicianship, then it would go in a good route.
So you're going after the parents.
Ooh.
Raise your kids to play
say.
instruments. Damn it.
I need y'all to learn y'all history. Go back to the 70s and 80s
But I'm
and
talking
learn
about
Learn
just
your
going to
piano,
learn,
learn your-
going to learn on their own.
Okay.
Because there's like there are still people who are singing R&B, but people would feel like it's more underground.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah.
True.
And so I'm like, these kids are now looking at what's hot on social media, and they're going about it on their own
Nice.
instead of going back and researching and actually learning the craft and using actual instruments.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think we should go study the lyrics from the old schools and understand how creative it was to talk about something not so blatantly.
Yeah.
I mean, I love her. I love you, girl. Janae Yako. I love her. But there's something about eating booty like groceries that still gives me a little bother. Like, we need to not talk about that in the song. Like, you gotta eat my booty like groceries.
Okay.
Not that I
let's-
appreciate the gesture, but
You
like,
gotta eat the booty.
Like
There's
groceries.
a reason why I mentioned
Groceries.
her.
okay, I feel like we can be a little bit more tactful with the lyrics and the presentation of the lyrics and the vocal.
That lyric. Okay, hold on before you get on Janae.
But you gotta eat my booty like groceries.
But like that song, that's not a song like I normally.
It's
like,
just
I
how it's
jam
supposed to be.
Okay.
Because it's a Marion song, number one.
Ooh,
It
don't
is
come from Marion.
I'm not coming for him.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is like I listen to Janae's actual albums, and for me that's more like what if I'm in the mood for being in chill mode. And that's how I used to be with R&B.
I'm gonna let you have your moment, but wasn't there a certain song where she said something like I should just fuck you on the boat or something like that without being tactful? She just said it like
That might have been.
Didn't she say something like so
I
again
wonder if that
proving
was
my point, be a little bit more tactful.
Fuck you
Yeah.
on a boat.
I only listened to her first 2 albums.
Okay.
Now, as far as whatever happened after those 2, I don't know. I stopped checking for new music because I just got tired of what was being presented.
I agree with you. I think for my reference of studying your lyrics and your vocal, like there's a song out by artists, and I love her to death. You know, I love Doja Cat to death. But she says she eat that booty. What's the lyrics? I just like there's just certain things that like we got kids listening to this. Like we got the new generation listening to this. Like
That's how I feel about Ariana Grande.
I need to.
You want to tell me that 7 Ring song isn't blatant materialism? Sorry, Ariana, great voice, but nah.
What about Side to Side?
Side to Side. Okay. So the rules of the nature is, like I said again, I feel like if R&B was to take back its genre in full, go back to being creative, go back to having fun, go back to being in love, go back to being vulnerable. We like that.
Ain't no love no more.
Ain't no love no
yeah.
more. It's just sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No more raw
We need
emotion.
to stop that. We need to come back to love. We need to go back to the harmonies. Stop doing these basic songs with these basic melodies.
Rappers
and
becoming singers.
Right. Oh.
I said it.
Oh.
I said it.
Oh.
What, you want to throw some shade at Ty?
We're not gonna throw some
I
shade
didn't
at
say any
anybody.
names.
We're
But
not
you were
gonna talk
thinking.
about people.
There's more than one who said they were
I know.
singers.
T-Pain is an R&B singer.
He can sing.
can sing.
T-Pain's amazing.
He is amazing. But I feel like we should just go back to that. Any last words for you? Because we got to wrap this up. We can talk about this all day, as you can see, but we got to wrap this up.
Oh, my last words don't mean anything. Go ahead, Dom.
His last words should be, I'm going to go and research
I'm
this,
gonna go
because he
do. I'm gonna
definitely
go
called for
listen to some new music.
A trap song. Let that sink in.
I'm gonna go listen to some new music after this.
Oh.
I told you I
listen to
didn't.
Formation.
I told you I didn't grow up on it's
She
the
had Big
beginning.
Frida in
Okay,
it for
we're
crying out
not
loud.
doing this. We're not doing Dom. Closing words.
Closing words, Tom.
Bring the talent back.
Ooh.
Singers.
She
and
was real
dancers.
serious.
Be better.
She said,
She said,
I
"Be
want
better."
that.
I want some ass shaking.
You want some ass
just moving
shaking?
to the beats. When I
You
mean
want
moving-
Juvenile back that ass?
No, I didn't say twerk.
Back then.
Oh,
I
that's
did not say twerk. But I mean like moving to the song, actually being able to dance.
Ooh,
Because I remember the dance moves
Okay.
in those music videos, signature dance moves, something.
All right, and on that
Bring
note-
the groups back.
Oh, bring the groups back.
Yeah, I want some.
We're going to talk about that
groups.
another episode because we got a lot to say about groups.
Yes.
Oh, it's about to be a battle of the bands.
Oh, we do.
Bring some bands back.
Ooh, child.
Please.
She's
Yes.
upset. We got a band,
Oh.
BTS.
Oh God.
You gonna make me get out this goddamn.
Dynamite. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end this because you know we can go on for this time, but we don't want to spend too much time. So join us next week. I think we're gonna talk about another genre of music, so you should be excited. And gloves is gonna come off, drinks is gonna go
always.
pour, and we're gonna have a dynamite good time. So
Always.
this is Kyle saying love yourselves and each other. Follow me on Kyle_the_brand. DJ Trak Runner without the C. And Dom's music with the Z or with the K?
With the K.
All right, with the K. We're going to go drink inside. As you can see, it's a little cold. So we're going to go have some drinks. We'll see you next week. Thank you for attending BackYard Bullshit.
Peace out.
Did he just call Beyonce's trap music?
No.